The first expedition we did to the Sagoli Baobab with the tree climbers were quite an epic adventure. Early morning sunrise from a hammock at the top of the world's biggest baobab tree is something that you can't even explain to anyone. 6 months after the first expedition, we decided we need to do this all again to take my wife and my child with, and off we went to the world's biggest baobab for a night in the tree. On the way there, we heard on the radio that there are roadworks on the N1, so I decided that we're taking a detour. Well, needless to say, 9 hours later, we arrived at the Sagoli Baobab, and it was a beautiful late afternoon, and we realized that when we set up our tent, we didn't have the tent, we only had the tent pegs. So we slept out in the open. At 3 o'clock in the morning, it started raining, and it just wouldn't stop. 6-hour thunderstorm and 200 millimeters of rain later, we were running down the river to try and get our stuff that had washed 500 meters down the river. Because a 2.5-hour journey turned into a 9-hour journey, and me not listening to my wife when she also said to me when we passed through the last town that we needed to fill the car up, we realized that we didn't have fuel. There was a filling station that we had been to before about 10 kilometers away, but as a result of a 6-hour thunderstorm, there was no electricity, so they couldn't pump the fuel. We then had to go around looking for fuel. Found a guy that said he's prepared to give us a few liters out of his car, but his wife did not allow that. We were up and down, and eventually we realized that we've got about 10 kilometers of fuel left, and we've got 80 kilometers to travel. But in the meantime, we also hit a rock. So we were traveling with a broken car, with no fuel, and eventually found someone that said they're prepared to give us 20 liters, which managed to get us back to the filling station. But once again, we had to take 3 detours because of bridges that's washed away and rivers that were crossing the road. After this trip, I've not heard the end of this story because everyone reminds me of my 9-hour journey. The tree climbers are coming out here again in October this year, and I think that would be our first tree to visit. If it takes us 9 hours, that's what we will do.